morning cup of coffee and some Cheerios. I take a pen and pad and turn them into miracles. I'm having fun, but everything I say is serious. Who you know could do rhyme in a new delirious? They always said you won't make it if you a lyricist.
Okay, welcome guys to episode 1 of the Wrestling Tonight podcast. I'm your host, Blake. To start, introduce myself. Fairly young lad, 21. Just wrestling fan, feel like I'm ready to step on to like the next stage. Like podcasts are big, they're up and coming. Everyone has an opinion, so I feel like it's time to deliver mine. We'll start simple. Monday Night Raw. Nice little recap of everything that went down last night. Gallows and Anderson are back on Raw for the first time since they debuted, and they faced the Usos, who was also there when they debuted, and they end up losing to the Usos. It was a fairly quick match. Really don't know what Gallows and Anderson really have planned with WWE. I know there's been talks about them leaving. Personally, I would like to see them leave because they're just not having the success that anyone planned them to do. It's not their fault. It's more just how they're being booked. But hey, you always got the open slot. If you want to leave, go back. I know Anderson loves Japan. They had a great time there, so I could see them going back. And after that match, we had Usos start talking about the revival. It was a nice little segment. They showed Dash Wilder shaving Scott Dawson's back. I really don't know what they're trying to get at, but hey, partners are willing to go through anything to help each other. So it's really nice to see they have each other's backs. But the Usos think it's pretty interesting that they're shaving each other's backs. Then we had a nice moment with Bliss segment. We had two of them tonight. She started off the show introducing the men's participants in the Money in the Bank who are going to be representing Raw. So not really surprised by any of these. You have Strowman, McIntyre. They're the really big guys. Like they're the stars. They're the next champions. It's only a matter of time till they're champions. For me personally, I believe McIntyre should have been the next champion. He should have been the one to beat Brock at WrestleMania. But hey, I'll let Seth Rollins have his run. He's earned it. He's delivered in every stage he's been with. So, but then yeah, Baron Corbin will be the third one to step up, who's been on another nice little run lately after WrestleMania. You can see like they kind of want him to be the heel, and he's really been working being the heel. I know a lot of people don't give him credit because how he looks and how he is and his attitude, but hey, the guy works, so I am not gonna be opposed to seeing him in a match to see him work over talent. And then the fourth and final, which is a shock to many, will be Ricochet. I can see this start picking up for Ricochet because now that Kofi is going to become champion, there's no Neville. Rey Mysterio's getting up there in age. It's just they need another high flyer, and unfortunately, Ricochet's gonna have to fill that role until they realize this guy is the real deal when it comes to in-ring performance, and the fans love him more than anything just because he could do a 450 off the top rope just by himself. But yeah, those two or those four all got a nice little tag team match. Ricochet and Strowman teamed up, ended up beating McIntyre and Corbin, which those two are gonna end up turning on each other. I don't know who's gonna do first, but McIntyre and Corbin end up beating the crap out of each other, and maybe we'll get a nice little segment out of that. Maybe they'll turn Corbin face, which I know many people will not like, but hey, anything to keep Drew McIntyre as the heel. He deserves to be the heel. He has the look, the talk, the Claymore kick, which is one of the best right now. He represents what you need in a heel. And then for the women's that were announced later in the match, the Alexa Bliss had another moment of bliss introducing them. Start off with Natalia, which is pretty interesting. Which I personally, for me, I would have had one of the Riot Squad members, but after the shakeup, Liv Morgan going to SmackDown, no one really knows what's gonna happen with them. So Natalia gets her shot. Naomi was the third one to be announced, which that's not really a surprise. She's been kind of their quote unquote high flyer. She could do the flips, and she's very talented. So it'll be nice to see her come in and get a win the Money in the Bank in a couple of weeks. The second one that really shocked everyone was Dana Brooke. They've really been building Dana Brooke backstage for a long time. And she's all over social media complaining, begging for opportunities. And now, hey, they're giving it to her on the main stage. So let's see if she could prove it. The fourth and final competitor for the Women's Money in the Bank was probably one of the best ones. That'll be Alexa Bliss. Her last year winning it kind of through the like surprise because Ronda was just on fire coming up, and then Nia Jax really needed an opponent. You really wanted to delay Ronda getting the title because you just didn't want to throw it on her in two matches. But Bliss coming in, Bliss is always entertaining. She always, it's really hard for her to have like a bad night. She's good on the mic, in the ring. She has the looks. Like she is one of the top stars. So if she can become a two-time Miss Money in the Bank winner, I'm all for it. So after that, we come to a nice little tag team matchup. Ryder and Hawkins still champions somehow, some way. Don't ask me how. I figure they'll lose them after WrestleMania. But they go up against the Revival. Which had it was a real slow work match. The crowd was being worked, chanting the "Shave Your Backs" towards the Revival. And you can see like it was kind of intended to go that way. The ending, which really kind of caught people, because it was Ryder who kind of got bumped, went down, and Dawson falls and pins him, but somehow Ryder rolls him up, pins him, they win, and Ryder and Hawkins are winning matches somehow, some way. Like it's honestly insane that these are your guys leading your tag team division with everyone that's on the roster. So I'm kind of just going from bits and pieces here. We've seen the Viking Raiders showed up again, the new tag team from Superstar Shakeup. But it's just interesting that they don't run around with the NXT titles on Raw, which it kind of bugs me because hey, we're treating NXT as its own brand now. They're not just developmental anymore to everyone's eye. So how can we just oh, they're gonna be champions, but oh, you're not champions on Raw, so you can't bring your titles around here. It's just Kevin Owens came up. He had his NXT championship. Pete Dunne came up when he fought Enzo a couple years ago. He had his UK title. I don't know. It's just if they're champions, you know they're champions. Just call them as their champions, and it won't hurt nothing. But anyways, they get a match with the Lucha House Party. They beat them fairly quick. I don't know why they're feeding mice to bears at this point. They really need to figure out something. What I'm waiting for is to see AOP. If they come back to Raw whenever they're ready, or if they end up making the jump to SmackDown, because those are two teams in NXT that just tore the house down. They were what these guys are. So I know they want to probably set up a match in the near future. I'm not going to put a timetable when, but see the Viking Raiders and AOP. Oh, that's going to be a hard hitting match for sure. Then we go Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn is an interesting character, which I really don't even know what to make of him, honestly. He's up and down. He was face, heel, and he's whatever he wants to be. Then he's an honest guy, and now he's just going out there to work the crowd. Which the out of context quote of the night, which really goes to Sammy and everyone else taking, is when he goes, "Trust me, I will love to quit WWE." And I bet everyone sees that all over social media now. It's just that quote right there saying, "Oh, I bet other people feel that way. Oh, I bet so and so feels this way. Oh, why don't you just leave?" Like, and he really came up with a good point in this was, why leave when I can come out here and say what I want to you guys and tell you what you guys are doing to me? So he calls them entitled, pretty much. He gives them the definition of psychologically entitled. And he just really just worked them. Like, I don't know. In ring wise, he still has it. We've seen the match with Balor a week or two ago. But yeah, I just, as a character, I don't know what we're trying to get. You can see when they're in Montreal, he was working the crowd and doing everything, but you could see it in his face that he was uncomfortable doing that because that was his hometown. So now he's in Kentucky. Fairly honest, I would, what Corey Graves said, it worked the crowd too, because during the Revival and Riders and Hawkins match, he goes, "There's more teeth in the ring than there is in this entire arena," talking about how the crowd is working the Revival, which is really nice. It's just those little one-liners that he has all the time. Then yeah, we had Miz TV show up, which was really, really a odd one. He's new to Raw from the shakeup as well, and he had Mr. Bobby Lashley on there, but Lashley did not have his manager, Leo Rush. There's been a lot of talks from everyone saying Leo Rush has a lot of heat backstage from number of things. Leo Rush came out and said that's completely not true. So who knows what's right, who knows what's wrong, but all we know is he wasn't there tonight. So Lashley's speaking in third person, talking about his last year in WWE, saying, "Hey, I accomplished this, this, and this," and The Miz kind of takes offense to that, and he goes, "Yeah, well, I've done this, this, and this, and I don't look like you at all." So that leads to them having a match, and Shane McMahon shows up. It was very just, we're not gonna let go of this storyline anytime soon. They show Miz's dad on the jumbotron, distracts the Miz. Lashley wins. After the match, Shane and Lashley then go on to just pound the Miz and just beat the crap out of him. And they're just really working Shane as the heel now, and it's just I enjoy it. And we're getting a new side of the Miz that no one's really thought we'll see, but this will lead to the Miz later in the night calling out Shane, setting up a match, saying there's only one way to settle this. You can't run from me, I can't run from you, like we did at WrestleMania. We'll fight in a steel cage of Money in the Bank. And then 5-10 minutes right after Shane tweets out he accepts, and he says, "Okay, this is what you want, we'll do it." Then Becky Lynch, the double champ, Becky Two Belts, shows up. Wants to talk about why she's fighting Lacey Evans and Charlotte the same night. That she's saying she's a fighting champ. I gotta do it for the fans. I gotta prove myself to everyone that, hey, this isn't a fluke for me. So I'm really interested to see how this goes. I didn't expect her to be champ of both shows. I really don't expect her to be champ of both shows going out of Money in the Bank. But she's definitely one of the top stars, so she deserves what she wants at this point. She's earned it. And Lacey Evans in this segment shows up, talks her little spiel about saying what a man wants because she's the Southern Belle. And they just end up brawling for a good few minutes, going back at it. The refs are trying to break it up. and it's just very. You can see there's a lot of tension already in this. So I wonder if this is gonna get in her head, or Charlotte's gonna start poking Becky about this on SmackDown, saying, "Hey, you already got Lacey in your head, so don't forget about me as well," and then just get her really off her game. I'll cover another little thing. Naomi and Bliss had a match right after their segment when they're announced for the Women's Money in the Bank. Naomi wins. Alexa Bliss was out of attire, and her shoes end up coming off halfway through the match, which ended up costing her the match. So you hate to really see that. But hey, it's a nice little keep Naomi building momentum leading up. Maybe she'll lead to a title shot in the future, or maybe she will become Miss Money in the Bank with the scene who gets announced on the SmackDown side. To wrap up the show, we had Rollins and Styles. AJ Styles won last week to become number one contender, Money in the Bank. He went through a triple threat match, then he ends up beating, which I believe was Baron Corbin, for the number one contender spot. So they sit down, sign the contract, sit and talk. Styles tells him, "Hey, look, I've built SmackDown up to this. I know you like to burn it down, but I'll build it right back up again right after." They talk about the respect they have. Styles said, "Known you for a long time, like, hey, but when it comes to being champion, there's nothing I wouldn't do. There's nothing I wouldn't do in a situation not be champion." Goes on to comment about Ambrose and Reigns not being there anymore. He says, "Hey, you don't have your boys behind you," which really sparked that in my mind, saying, "Hey, Gallows and Anderson are on Raw, so maybe we're gonna get the club back," which I really would love to see the club back together, because that's something Gallows and Anderson need. They were kind of built being from the club. They were tag team guys, so hey, them and AJ were all there in Japan. I was really hoping they would have stayed on SmackDown with Finn and turned that into something nice, but they're on Raw, following AJ around, so I hope they get paired up with AJ again soon. Rollins goes, gives his spiel, "Hey, I'm champ. Hey, I did this, I did that. I beat Brock, something you couldn't done." And they sign the contract, and there's a nice little trying to be a respectful moment, but Rollins says, "Hey, I'm the bigger man. I have the title." Holds it up to him. AJ smirks, wants to walk off. He does, and he just catches Rollins with a quick hand. And they turn and brawl for a minute, leaving Rollins standing tall, which everyone thought was going to happen, but then AJ hits him with the forearm going through the table, and that's how they end the show. Something that's been building up the last couple of weeks is Bray Wyatt. He debuted last week with the Firefly Funhouse, which I'm all excited for, being a new Bray Wyatt around. I missed him. Cleaned up his face, his hair. It looked like he slimmed down a little bit as well, so. But yeah, so debuts the Firefly Funhouse. Says, "Hey, this Bray Wyatt guy before, he's nothing now. I'll never become that again." Like, there's a lot of speculation going around saying, "Oh, well, we got Eric Young, Killian Dane, Nikki Cross. They're all, what's going on with them? Can they be a part of this? Or, like, is this going to be a solo thing for him?" So he shows up, sits there and talks about this painting he drew, which looked like the Bray Wyatt compound burning from what Randy Orton did a couple years ago leading up to their WrestleMania match. So then he's sitting there talking about it with this little rabbit, showing it off, hangs it up, and Abby the Witch shows up, says, "Hey, like, I told you not to be messing around again," just like a whole bunch of little weird things. So you can see that this sinister side is still here in Bray Wyatt. So I wonder if it's gonna be something like Finn Balor, demon type. If we're gonna just like he can trigger it, or can he control it, or is there someone else controlling him now? It's just like there's so much to this character that can be great, and I really want this to be great because Bray Wyatt should be a top dog in this business. So, like, me personally, knowing how good he is and how good he's been, it, it's about time he gets his respect. But there's a real good thing about this segment is they bring up sociopaths. See, not many people know the definition of sociopath, and they often confuse it with psychopath. So from there, we'll kind of just wrap everything up because Raw was a nice, blatant Raw. It's like nothing spectacular besides setting up Money in the Bank. And yeah, we'll wait to see what SmackDown has to offer later. But yeah, this is episode 1. Working on trying to figure everything out, so please be patient with me. I will love the support along the way. And yeah, this is Blake signing off.
And I may feel questions to let the haters know. We not debating, no, we got the truth on our side. I keep it fresh for my friend.